Hi everyone, happy holidays if you are celebrating. Let me go ahead and fix my light. Okay. Oh, there's Luna. Okay, so I've been releasing so much within the past couple of years, and for some reason today I was just very enlightened with a pattern that I have been stuck in for a long time. And I kind of wanted to come on here in case anyone else can relate. So I found myself in this trauma loop of my own creation. And for a long time, honestly, until the past few months, this is the reality that I believe that I was supposed to be in. I was gaslighting myself into believing that, yes, this is what I want to create for myself. This is what is going to make me happy. And it wasn't making me happy for so many years. It was just a trauma response. And I feel like a light bulb moment has went off for me. So let's just go ahead and get into Luna. Let's go ahead and get into a little bit of my story. I'm not gonna sit here and talk about it forever because that's really not the point of this video to, you know, share all of my trauma with you. The point that I want to make is you've come much further than you may be seeing. You've come so much further than you may be seeing. That's all I have to say. So, this trauma loop that I was living in, girl. So, I was really into sugar dating. If you don't know what that is, it's probably for the best. But, I was basically just dating older men for money. And, a lot of people will look at that on the surface and just write it off as something so black and white without even taking into consideration that, hey, this could be a trauma response, especially men, because this is not how they may react to a similar type of trauma. So for me, it was very normal to feel unsupported by the people that were supposed to support me the most, unprotected by the people who were supposed to have my back and protect me. And there was always, this energy that I was so used to of breadcrumbing, of future faking from just, my relationship with my biological father. And mix that all up with, you know, people taking your innocence at a very young age, if you know what I mean, and memories of me being dressed up and socks down my shirt and makeup and what I'm assuming and hoping to be mocktails. By the way, I was like 7 at this time, maybe younger. And, there would be other little girls, doing the same thing. And there was also like grown adult men there. I don't know what happened. I think I blocked out some things for a very good reason. Luna, you gotta chill. So, coming from that, I was literally groomed into the lifestyle that I have been creating for myself. And so fast forward, as someone who had that in their mind, I'm thinking like as a teenager, oh my gosh, I think the dream life would be to have a husband who doesn't really live here. He's too busy working all the time. And I am just, living my best life. He's providing for me. And there are so many things that goes into that. So, of course, I didn't believe that I could, provide for myself. That's not what I was taught to believe in. again, I was groomed to think a certain way and groomed to, you know, look at men and relationships in a certain way. And one thing I want to mention about childhood trauma, especially something where it has to do with the taking of innocence or force or things like that, this can literally rewire your brain. It can make you a different person. So, of course, that's how I was reacting. Of course, also, I was so energetically open to those experiences that it was so easy for predators to kind of point me out and go after me. And it was easier because I did not have like the same red flag alerts in my mind, because this is what my mind was used to. So I'm not going to have the same reaction to red flags as a, mentally healthy person would be able to pick up. So I say all this to say, you guys, last night I was just like, these memories kept coming up for me. These like horrific memories and the people that I was resenting that I thought didn't protect me or didn't do what or react how I felt that they should. People who've seen my trauma who were not able to support me emotionally because they didn't have the tools. So, of course. And so I was thinking about all these things, and then I was just kind of not feeling down, but just this feeling of numbness. And I was just thinking, like, wow, is this who I'm gonna be forever? Like, I know I'm not happy, at this point, the whole sugar dating thing, it's like my heart's not even in it. It never really was, but once the mask came off, once my glasses came off of what was actually going on, it was like, yes, I can see it, but I'm so used to doing it, it's hard for me to get out of. And now I'm at a point where, things are just at a standstill. And I've realized how I was sabotaging potential relationships with people who actually meant me well, because I was so used to, men just seeing me as an object and, seeing me as property. So that was my norm. Yeah, I was very comfortable with that. And now I'm like, no, I want something real. Because that's just my life in general right now. I want realness in all areas of my life. I want authenticity. And so it just, I don't know, it just clicked. Like, oh my God, you're repeating this cycle because, yes, someone way, 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 way older than you took major advantage of you when you were a child and like barely a legal adult. Like, it just kept going. So, this is a part of me by doing the sugar dating and choosing to be with men I'm not really attracted to just for a quick buck or whatever. Not even quick, because it's a long game for me. But that's not the point of this video. Seeing myself as someone who's a sovereign human being that did not need to rely on men in that way, in a codependent way, it was very difficult for me. And I did feel like a lot of people around me were judging me, especially the people who saw me go through those things as a child, as a teenager, as a young adult. It's like they weren't really saying anything, they weren't trying to help, but they were judging. And I didn't know who to trust for a while in my friendships and relationships with women. It's like I've been able to clearly see, oh my gosh, you're still in this cycle of trying to flip the script on these men and these relationships and say, oh my gosh, I'm not a victim. I'm in control because I signed up to do this. yeah, so I'm in control. In reality, I'm actually hurting. I'm actually just stabbing the wound over and over by myself, mind you. Me turning the knife on myself to just stab into that wound over and over and over and gaslight myself into thinking this is empowerment. I am taking my power back. At least I'm not getting, touched anymore as a child. At least I'm not getting forced to do things. You know, it's my choice. And I feel like a lot of people get caught up in that, especially when it comes to trauma similar to mine. So I also just want to remind people it's okay to let go of the shame. So this doesn't just have to be about, my specific trauma and shame related to that, but all trauma, especially childhood trauma. I feel like you tend to carry this feeling of, something being wrong with you, just at your essence, something being wrong, or you're unlovable deep down. And it's just not true. That's not your burden. That's not true. Your brain, you were affected by your trauma to where your brain has been wired to think that there's something wrong with you, or that you can't be comfortable in your own body, or it's not safe to be around certain types of people or people that look a certain way because of your trauma, even when it has nothing to do with that person. But your body is responding to, oh, this person looked like my predator, or these types of people look like my predator. That happens all the time. And it's so much easier said than done. I don't even know why I was urged so strongly to share this, but I do have a feeling that it's going to find the right people. And what I'm going to do now, do I have anything else to say about this topic? I think I'm going to go ahead and move into tarot or oracle message very quickly and then wrap this up. Okay, to this group watching, can we do, just what do we have to say? What do we have to say to this group? I can't make this shit up. It's time to write a new story for yourself. 13:13 on the clock. I'm about to cry. It's time to write a new story for yourself. You are no longer a victim. And I feel like some of you have stepped into this new timeline and you're refusing to see that you are a different person. You're refusing to see how far it is that you've come, like I've been saying since the beginning of this video. And it's like, that is kind of stopping you from creating the life that you want and believing that you can have it and deserve it and manifesting it to you. Because it's like you're seeing yourself as someone who is just wrong, just bad deep down, shameful. Okay? You're carrying all the trauma with you. You're, over here ruminating on it. And I'm not saying don't journal it out, don't cry it out, whatever the case is, but realize, when is it that you are taking your trauma to your day-to-day scenarios? So in your dating life, like me, for instance, are you bringing your trauma and what you've been fed to believe through that trauma? Are you taking that as fact? As, oh, all men only see me as an object, or, oh, it's just easier to date this way because I can't have an actual romantic relationship with a man. They don't actually care about me. Whatever it is for you, okay? Realize when it is that you are bringing old trauma into your present day life where it just truly doesn't belong because you are such a different person. You truly have come a long way. Let me, now I'm getting really into it. So let's take a look at your specific past for this group of people. Let's take a look at what are you coming from? What are you coming from? What is it that you're coming from, growing from? Okay. You guys, this is powerful. I literally can't make this up. You're coming from here. The disowned self. Root girl. And I'm being guided. I don't know if I've mentioned this in a previous reading, but I've been guided lately to so much root work. So for me, I have been juicing lots of rooted vegetables and things that really ground me. So I'll give you a recipe. This is not gonna suit everybody. So celery, lemon, beets, carrots, spinach, cucumber, and lemon. Did I say lemon? So I've been drinking that juice for pretty much a week straight every morning on an empty stomach. And belly dancing, that has been shaking the shit out of me. I swear. So I do believe that's why I came to this light bulb moment. But if any of that, calls to you, or, look up some things that you might like more, like specific teas or what foods to incorporate, different sorts of oils, things like that, that are really going to help release things out of your root chakra, okay? Because this is where this energy is stored, especially if you can relate to my specific trauma. I literally could feel blocks, like a couple specific blocks that, like, as I was shaking during my belly dancing, I just felt it was like loosening up and freeing. Like I don't know how to describe it. It was magical. So yeah, this is what you're coming out of. Look how sad. Look how she doesn't see her own power. Because this looks like such a strong person. I mean, she is a tree. She has roots on her. She's fiery. Look at her. She's beautiful. And why is she not seeing herself? Why is that? Now we know. Your trauma that you have unhealed, okay? Go to therapy if you need to. Whatever you need to do for yourself. Now, as far as the future, opportunity. I do feel like this is an opportunity for you to see yourself clearly and act accordingly. What else? Yeah, this opportunity. I'm also feeling that this is a fated opportunity. Because cats are very spiritual. And I'm just seeing, see, it says caterpillar, Okay. Anything else we would benefit from knowing about this opportunity? Cosmic womb, the divine feminine. Let's focus this. There we go. Okay. Let's tap in. So, I am feeling that something is ready to be birthed into reality. You could actually be pregnant. You don't have to be. This is like an idea, a business, something that you've been kind of sitting on, second guessing, overthinking about. So you're being called to kind of Listen to your intuition when it comes to this opportunity that's headed your way if it's not already here. Some of you, there's an opportunity that's right in front of you that you're just not seeing because you've still been operating from the old consciousness, from this disowned self, even though like it's like you weren't seeing how far you've come. I think that's why I was called to keep saying that so much throughout this reading. Divine Feminine, you are supposed to have a very easy life. I don't care if you're a man watching, a woman watching, a they, them, whatever, okay? You are supposed to have a very easy life. And if it makes you feel more empowered to believe that you're owed this easy life from, you know, the previous consciousness that you were living out of, from all of that ickiness, if you want to believe that you've paid your debt and now it's time for God, for spirit, for your higher self to pay up with the blessings, then do that. But do whatever you need to do to really truly start believing that you are supposed to have an easy life. You are not supposed to be able to relate to everybody and their mom around you. You're not supposed to be able to relate to all the complaints, all the, oh, this is how you do things. Oh, this is the process. You have such a strong connection with spirit. You are supposed to have an easy life. I need you to say it with me. I am supposed to have an easy life. With that being said, I think that's all I have for you. Please subscribe, like the video so I can go live with you all, and start living from the new self today. When that old shit comes up, be like, that's not even me anymore. That's not even me anymore. That is the old me. I have grown so much. I'm in a different space. I'm not making the same mistakes I used to make. I'm not perfect. I'm not doing the same things I used to do. Yes, I have changed. So yeah, I deserve better than I used to be accepting. The fuck? Okay, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this message. I will see y'all soon. To link with me, everything is in the description box.